what's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk, me in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. And I wanted to just make a quick video, man. I forgot about Amani Oruwariye from Penn State, man. And I think you might have a scenario where he might start some football games early on for the Detroit Lions, man. And rookie cornerback, 5th round pick out of Penn State. I think he started in the middle of his junior or sophomore year, and then whatever year it was, he played the rest of that year. So he only started for a year and a half in college. 6'2", long corner. One of my favorites in the draft. Thought he was at least going to be a 2nd round draft pick. Fell to the 5th, whatever reason that is. Don't know why. But I know it wasn't that he wasn't productive, but guess what? He didn't get a lot of snaps in college. I think he started for a year and a half, if that, at Penn State. But one thing I noticed when I turned on the film is not only his size and his length, his ability to do something that historically, before Darius Slay, most cornerbacks didn't do with the Detroit Lions, and that's turn their head and play the ball. In my opinion, he could start over Cooper, Rashad Melvin, Tease Tabor. Obviously over Darius Slay if he don't get into camp, but he got 2 years left. He don't have another choice but to come in and play at some point. But an injury could follow without going through training camp or a large part of training camp. But you might see a scenario where he might start some games for the Lions early on. Okay. A lot of people are high on Rashad Melvin. He garbage. All right. Unless, the Oakland Raiders wasn't the right fit for him. He ain't nobody that you count on to guard a number 1 or 2 receiver for 16 games and games going into the playoffs. It just ain't happening. Marcus Cooper is a special teams player. Jamal Agnew is more of a nickel return guy. Tease Tabor, I don't know. People talking about how he looking good in shorts and shirt and shorts and helmet. I wouldn't put no stock in him. I mean, it was times where he couldn't even stay on the field for a series, and I'm just keeping it real. Okay. Justin Coleman, he can go outside or inside, but I think he's more suited to go inside and play nickel. So when you look at it, really what it boiled down to, even if Darius Slay do come in, they get that, figured out. Okay, you got Slay at 1. All right. They said Coleman could play outside, but pretty much he known as a nickel. So really you got the battle for number 2. All right. And what you got to figure out is this: how much better can Rashad Melvin get? How much better can Cooper get? Can Agnew play outside? I think not full time. Then you got to look at Tabor and the rest of the guys. And if it's remotely close, obviously you got to go with the guy with the most upside. You got to go with the guy that's going to continue to get better. Tease Tabor had 2 seasons to get better. He ain't got better yet. He really got the feet of a safety. Oruwariye got the speed, he got the height, they got the length, and he pretty much got the ability to turn around and play the ball. But do we got the technique? And it's a lot riding on this, man, to make this decision, because Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn ass could be on the line. So you really got to know, did we just take him and hopefully we could turn him from a man corner to a zone corner, or a zone to a man corner, or, because what you not going to do is play to a rookie's strengths. All right. Unless you get him really, really high, you're not going to do that. So what you got to figure out is, did you draft him because it was a value pick in the 5th round, or did you draft him because, hey man, he a system fit? That's what you got to figure out. But don't be surprised if homeboy don't start off the season. I wouldn't be, because the Lions keep neglecting to fill that number 2 cornerback position. They was neglecting to fill the number 1 spot before Darius Slay got here. And if you remember when Darius Slay first got here, he was a man corner trying to fit into his own scheme. He was getting baptized, but they had no other choice because he continued to get better throughout the year. With Amani, they might be forced to play him because they didn't take the number 2 cornerback position serious this year. Once again, they filled the nickel role before they filled the number 2 role. And that's scary, man. They keep downplaying that number 2 cornerback position. And it might come back and bite Patricia in the ass and Bob Quinn. But hey, little small water cooler talk, Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate the love, support. If you got any video requests, you always can hit me up if you got a question as well too. Fastest way is probably just the email, to be honest. Facebook don't give me those notifications like that when I get inboxes, and sometimes Twitter is probably the second fastest way. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this young bull start mostly on the outside. If Darius Slay don't get here and get into camp, or he get injured trying to come in camp late or fake an injury or whatever, I'm not saying that's in his character, he gonna start. I'm gonna say I'm about 90% sure that he gonna start more than a handful of games this year, man. Now, I'm not saying he gonna succeed or he gonna fail, but it's gonna be interesting. He got the long speed to stick with people. He got the length. It's just gonna be about the technique at the line of scrimmage and learning a little veteran tactics to try to stay up with these savvy guys. But I appreciate it, man. We go.